Oh God. Oh my God. This fucking program can eat shit, dude. Add people. Andy Bowie. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Damn,
Wait, that's
government
not the one.
IDs.
That's not even the right one. Oh, there's a bunch of Andy Bowies out in the world.
That's
Okay,
racist.
I got it.
There's a bunch of them.
Dog, this is the last time we will use Skype, I think, ever.
But then what are we gonna use after?
I don't know, man. I don't have these answers.
Why don't we
have
just
these
use
answers.
Discord right now?
Jesus Christ.
God.
Oh, we've got Andrew on the show.
I don't
No
need a
pants.
cam shot, luckily, so you don't have to change anything. So.
You don't need a cam shot. You know, actually wanted to see you with the cam shot just so I could see what it would do to Skype. Because Skype looks so stupid with just two people on it.
What the fuck is all this blinking light shit, though? Are the
cops are in
cops
Rich's
inside your
bedroom.
room?
The cops are
There's
in
a
his
whole bunch of
bedroom.
you on the. I'm gonna go over here.
Mike
I'll join Ricky. What's up, Ricky? How's it
is
going?
gonna lean out of the camera shot.
Jesus Christ.
God damn it. All right.
It should be good. Should be good.
Wait, so you don't have a camera at all, Andrew?
I don't have a camera at all. I think I have to like look for it, or I think I have like a bunch of hot glue on it. It's a problem.
Did you say a bunch of hot glue?
huh?
Yeah,
Is that
This
street
thing-
slang?
that's what we call it these days.
That's
Wow.
street slang.
Yeah, for those
When
guys,
you got a sub in the Shinkansen and the me and we gave you
What?
some hot glue.
Yeah, that's like the hot glue you find in all over Japan, right? Anyways,
Whoa.
Gross.
yeah, for those of you guys who don't know, the voice you're hearing is
Now
No
you know.
Pants, the
what's up, guys?
the man who runs
The man meant the legend.
Avoiding the Puddle YouTube channel. Is that correct? Is that the one with the ing at the end of it?
The what?
I mean, that's the ing
Yes,
is the one.
that's
With the,
avoiding the puddle. Yes,
yeah,
yes.
there you go. That's the guy. He's It sucks to
bitch.
admit it. Yeah, all right, Ricky. Thank you for filling in the sentence. Thank you for filling the sentence. So, I guess we can get started with the show now that we've figured out. Oh my God! I just realized the shit shows all my. What are these pop-ups from?
Man vs.
versus
Game
Game.
is now streaming Monster Hunter. Yeah, I wanted to know about
How
what
did
the
you
Man
know
vs.
that?
Game was doing.
How did you know that? Oh my
It says
God!
it right there
Wait, does it show up in your Skype, or just on the stream? Right.
on the stream.
All right, good. Okay, I closed it out. Finally, we can start the show. All right.
I didn't realize you were such a Man vs. Game fan.
Yeah, I love him. He's got a low voice, and
I don't even know who he is.
That's all I know about him, actually. I met him somewhere. I met him for something somewhere. God damn it, Mike.
Details are not important. Very
Yeah,
good.
they're not important. I met him somewhere for something, and he's all like, "Oh yeah, I'm a big fighting game fan, and I like fighting games, and it's so cool what you guys do." And I have no idea
Right.
what that was for.
Cool.
Yeah. So that was Man vs. Game. What up, everyone? This is BOOMcast number 11. I'm Rip. I'm joined by MYK's Christmas lights that he hasn't taken down yet, and
Yep.
the cops at Rick's house. And secretly, without a camera, we've got No Pants sitting in as well. All right?
Is that my name in the corner? The AM right there?
Yeah, that's you.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
the AM you guys see in the corner, that's No Pants.
What's the M for?
Yeah, what is the M
some-
for?
Min for Min.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
Damn.
Andy
Well-
Min Bowie.
I'm hella getting doxxed right now.
Oh,
God,
man.
the
Like
whole
that.
government?
The whole.
Min. Oh man.
They're gonna start like running credit cards in my name now. You know.
Is it MIN or MINH for the
Oh,
extra
no.
Vietnamese
Latter.
for the extra Vietnamese flavor?
Yeah. The latter. MINH.
Wow, you got the
Yeah.
H. Nice.
Yeah.
Well done there.
Yeah. It's
All
all,
right.
over.
Let's get
Oh,
started
man.
with the show somehow. Of course, we all were there. EVO Japan, that's what we just got back from. Man, I cannot believe the good times we had. But, let's talk about the tournament. They've been trying to run this EVO tournament in Japan for years and years and years. Of course, it's always been in America. The international players have to come on over. And there's always so many distractions on the screen for me, but finally they got one set up, and we all went over there. And Ricky, what were your thoughts about it? Starting from just in general, not even going to too many specifics about how things were run or anything.
Well, I only went there for one day actually. Out of the 3 days, I was only there for Saturday for Tekken. I pretty much only stuck around Tekken. I didn't even watch anything else because I couldn't because it was packed in there. That was the main thing I noticed was that Japan. Obviously, we kind of knew this before going in there, but Japan's not really the best place to be holding an event of that magnitude because most places, especially in Tokyo, aren't like real. They're not fit to hold that many people. And it definitely felt like that in there. But overall, I mean, it was still a really cool vibe. You just got to see everyone. Everyone's just playing Tekken, having fun. You got to see old ass people. Mad Dog Jin saw me, and he was like, "Hey, I know you." And I looked at him. I was like, "Who are you again?"
Dude, I saw a picture of Mad Dog Jin and Knee, right? And somebody put it on Twitter like, "What year is this?" And I'm like, "Who are those guys?" Like I didn't recognize Mad Dog Jin either.
Yeah, Mad Dog Jin was there. He actually asked me where Sukin was, so he remembered Sukin.
Wow.
I'm surprised he remembered me because actually when he lived in SoCal, like I don't think I ever saw him once. So I was like, I don't know how does this motherfucker remember me?
Damn, that's
I guess
crazy.
I leave a great impression on people.
You're the
No, but
little guy.
overall, yeah, that's true. Overall, though, it was really sick just as an American to finally go to a foreign tournament and not play any other Americans. I thought that was really sick. I mean, I only played Koreans, Japanese, and that one random German guy or something. But everyone else was from an area I've never played against, and it was sick. So I had a lot of fun at EVO Japan, even though I was only there for one day. I kind of wish I would have went on Sunday, but I had issues.
You had issues?
I had issues.
Issues. Hey, Ricky, how come you didn't go on Friday?
Because Tekken wasn't there, and I didn't feel like I had to. I was thinking
but you
about
were
it.
living right next to it, weren't you?
It's like a 10-minute walk, yeah.
Too
But-
busy, too far.
No, it's just I think I wanted to shop. I don't remember what I did, to be
Wow.
honest.
Well, while we're on the subject of Tekken, can you talk a little bit about your path through the tournament itself? Or am I jumping the gun?
Yeah, you jumping the gun. Shut the hell up over there.
All right,
Jesus,
my bad.
man. He's gonna take over my job. Like,
Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Next question, Rip.
All right, no.
Well,
Hey,
I
Ricky.
mean-
So, tell us a little about your path through Tekken. I'm just curious how you did in the tournament, how things went.
My path in the tournament, I think I got like top 64. I don't remember what place. I only lost to Nii in the worst way possible by getting fucked up by everything he did. And Nishi, the Japanese Fang player that was on Team Yamasa during the Master Cup. So I lost to two good players. And I mean, it was tough, but it went okay, I guess. Pools could have been a little bit cleaner, but it was, I was actually kind of getting adjusted to the console versus the arcade. But
Oh, yeah.
other than that, I mean, it was pretty nice just to be able to not have to play any Americans. So I was pretty happy about that. I was not happy with how the Americans did in the tournament when some guy named Rixta is the second best placing American. That's not good.
Definitely
So I'm hoping
not a good look.
I'm hoping next year at EVO Japan we can kind of get some better players and representation in America from America. Just
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah, that would be a nice addition, obviously. MYK, let's jump to you real quick. What are your thoughts overall about the event? Then tell us about your path, too.
EVO Japan, yeah. I mean, I did worse. I mean, I made it out of my first pools. I mean, okay, let's talk about the tournament first.
Mike, put your face in the camera, would you? Come on, man.
It's too
You killed
big.
me. I can see just like the tip of your hat and like your microphone poking through.
Damn. All right, here I am, half the freaking screen. Where do I go?
There you
Here we
go. There you go. You're in there.
All right. So I felt like the event was sick. It was like kind of like what Ricky said, but it kind of had some vibe to it. Like it was like really crammed in the rooms. Right, outside's freezing cold. I'm wearing 4 layers, and the inside's like burning hot. Right, and then it was like so crammed in there. It was like sardines in a can. Right. I just couldn't get from one side of the room to the other side of the room unless I wanted to like dedicate like at least 30-40 minutes to getting out of that section.
Yeah. No, I remember because I ran into you on tournament day, and you looked like you were about to faint. And I was like,
Dude,
what are
I
you
was
doing,
fucked
dude?
up.
You were wearing like 5 layers, I felt like, on top. And you're like, I can't breathe, dude. I got to go out and get air. I'm like, yeah, dude, you're wearing like 5 layers. It's warm. I was like, there, like a t-shirt or something. Ridiculous.
Yeah, it was crazy though. It was crazy. And then it's like I don't know, some of the people kind of smelled kind of bad.
Well, yeah, when you put in that many bodies into a room, and everyone's trying to stay warm from outside, everyone's gonna start sweating inside.
That's kind of the thing, though. I kind of think I learned is Japan in the wintertime, whenever you're indoors for anything, they just blast the heater like 85 degrees, right? And it's just like that plus the body heat was just like a little bit crazy.
How'd you do in the tournament? What was your path?
The tournament, I got out in winners of my pools. I think the last guy I played was a Australian Lars player, and then he beat my Josie pretty bad. Then I switched to Steve, brought it back, and then after that I got to the second pool, and then I just lost to some Japanese. What's his face? A new character?
What?
Geese? Yeah.
Oh,
Geese.
you lost to a Geese Howard?
Yeah, Japanese Geese player, and then I lost to Kobore.
Yeah.
Oh man, that girl
sounds so wrong with your
player.
police siren lights on, Ricky.
Yeah,
I like Kobore. She's tight.
You know what was the worst
Really?
part about the whole thing?
Mm-hmm.
The worst part about the whole thing was Kane asked me to get him a sweater from her, right? And I didn't even know who she was. I didn't even catch her name before we played.
Yeah.
So we played the match, and then I was like, oh yeah, I gotta look for this person named Kobore. And then he's like, that's that girl player that you just lost to. I was like,
Wow, that sucks. Damn, so you went down to Kobore and who else?
Geese.
some Japanese Geese player I didn't catch the name of.
Damn.
Yeah.
Man, what a blow.
But other than that, I mean, the positives, it's really sick to have EVO in Japan. I mean, that's like, give me any excuse to go to Japan.
Right.
That is awesome, especially EVO in Japan. Like,
Yeah.
come on. The combination with all the people that you know there, the communities, and it's just like, oh, it was so sick. That part was sick. But I just wish that the only thing I kind of wish was like the stages were a little bit bigger. There was a little bit more room to move around. Because I was trying to watch some of the pool matches, after you get out of pool 2 and you get into top 64 with Ricky, where he was at. He was right behind the Tekken stream station, and then there was all those people, you can see it in the stream, all those people standing behind the players right there. And then right behind them is like 5 feet of room, and then Nee and freaking Ricky's playing right there. There's no way to watch their match, it was like
Yeah, I mean,
stuff like that.
That wasn't even really a stage, right? It was like a little projector on the wall.
Exactly.
It was literally like if you had a 5-foot screen, like a 60-inch TV on the wall, right? And it's like that's how big the screen was to watch, these stream matches, quote unquote. Hey, No Pants, did you want to tell people what you do?
I might as well because
'cause,
it's getting thrown around more and more often these days. So, I guess I'll start. Basically, these guys went for the tournament. I went for more of the production side stuff. I actually do social media for a lot of these streams that you guys watch. So, specifically for EVO, they had this stream format called the Jump Off, right? And what I basically do during those streams is that I take highlights and put them on Twitter live, which is basically sort of baiting people to get them to watch the streams themselves. And I do that not only for EVO, but I do that for a lot of other events too, mostly like Tekken World Tour stuff, but I've also done Street Fighter in the past. I mean, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, so basically when you guys are looking at like Twitter or something and you see like a cool clip from a tournament, it's usually No Pants that does it, right?
Yeah, and it's not just Tekken. I've done Street Fighter. I think this EVO specifically, I did BlazBlue top 8. I did Smash, Tekken, and I cover all the games really, because I also watch all the games, as a fan too, right? So I can do most of the games, and that's mostly what I did during EVO. So I was working for all 3 days. The latter half of EVO in Ikebukuro for 2 days, and then I did the first half in Akihabara. So
Tell me this. I mean, obviously you've traveled around the U.S. a lot. Is this your first time traveling internationally for a tournament?
It's my first time traveling to Japan, period, and probably the first time I've traveled internationally in I want to say almost over 10 years. I want to say.
Holy moly! Okay, I had no idea about that. Okay, so first of all, for those of you guys who didn't watch the banned footage, No Pants is a super weeb. Like, he speaks the language way better than Rick stuff.
Dude, he's completely fluent. I didn't even know that. He's not talking to everybody over there. He was like our translator.
He basically was our translator. But yeah, I mean, I totally thought that you've been there before. I didn't realize this was your first time in Japan. I think you
No,
probably
it's
told me
all
that.
it's all like honed weeb, folded 1,000 times, that kind of shit. I practiced it a lot in college. I studied in college, and I guess I never forgot some of the basics, right?
Nerd.
Nerd.
Got something in your throat, Ricky? Is that what I'm hearing?
God damn. No, yeah, but what I wanted to ask you, this for us as an international event, it was a new experience, right? It's our first time checking it out. How was that kind of experience for you? Because I know you did the Tech World Tour Finals. You've been around the country doing other events in the U.S. How do you think EVO Japan related from your perspective?
It was a lot less organized than the stuff I've seen in the U.S. Not only like the venue, because you guys have touched upon it already, right? It was very crowded, very hot. I think that's probably more just their first time doing EVO stuff in Japan. But other than that, I think that there was a lot more energy than what I saw in some of the other events. I think I haven't been to that many events, so I went to like SCR, and I guess it's a poor comparison, right? EVO and SCR, but the energy, I guess because it was in such a cramped space, you kind of felt like a lot of the energy in one place because all the games were like on top of each other, right? But it ended up becoming a problem because everyone was trying to clamor to the main stage to watch all the top eights.
Right.
And that became like a real problem when you were trying to get through the venue to try and actually get stuff done. So like Mike MYK said, it took like 30 minutes just to get through the hall B or whatever, right? So but other than that, it was really nice. I barely made it into hall A. I tried to meet some people, but that ended up not panning out because it was just too crowded, right?
Yeah, and that's a great point. There was actually 2 separate halls. So a lot of players, they didn't even know that their pool match was in a completely separate hall. I found out from Rix that my pool was in the other hall, and then I go to the other hall and I see Speed Kicks warming up over there, and I talk to him. I'm like, "Hey man, which pool are you in?" He's like, "Oh well, I don't see it up here. It's probably coming up a little bit later or something." I'm like, "Nah, dude, you're in the other hall." He's like, "There's another hall?" He had no idea because when you walk into the building, the other hall is like on a lower level, and you walk up like this staircase or something or an escalator, and then you get to the other hall, the main hall, I want to call it. So a lot of people were very lost when things started, and because they had the online registration, so many people signed up that were disqualified, etc. So they were just trying to get through the brackets and just disqualifying people really quickly. So there's a lot of issues, I think, from that end, right? So, personally for me, I thought the event was amazing. Of course, having an EVO in Japan, all the top players in one place. I spoke to a lot of the Korean guys, like the Echo Fox boys, etc. And they were telling me this is the most stacked Tekken tournament ever, and I feel like it was probably that way for the Street Fighter side of things and a lot of the other games there.
I want to touch upon that for the Guilty Gear side of things, because I talked to a few Guilty Gear players actually, and they said that, well, for anime games, a lot of those Japanese players don't get to travel out, and because it was their first sort of EVO-esque experience. After I was talking to them, they were all saying I finally found the reason why everyone wants to go to Vegas, and then they're like, oh yeah, I'm making it my goal to go to EVO Vegas now.
Damn,
right?
That's so awesome. That is super awesome, right? I mean, we were talking about it during the jump off stream when Guilty Gear's semifinals leading up to the top 8 were happening. But Mikado Arcade over there is just the spot, right? And it's all these gods of Guilty Gear are there, but so many people don't ever get to see them. And now it's finally, some incentive for them to come out to the bigger events like EVO Vegas, and hopefully that spreads. And the saddest thing for me was just, when we were going there, I think I felt man, there's gonna be 100,000 Americans there. Everywhere you turn, there'll be American players, and there were a lot of American players. But in the tournament, I think there was only 10 from America for Tekken. Anyone know, Ricky?
Yeah,
sounds right.
Yeah, there's only 10 people. So when we were in the tournament, I personally, when I was playing my pool matches, I felt super alone. I just surrounded by foreigners, and there's no one really cheering for you. You're kind of just in this little spot by yourself. Well, this is how they feel when they come out to EVO Vegas or something, right? It's a pretty nutty feeling. It's pretty fun though.
Yeah, it was a little bit like that, but I had Steve two or three pools right next to me, Tasty Steve, and then I met Naranagi there and a couple other people. So it's just we kind of got hype a little bit. Or
there you go.
Yeah. So
all I had was Beal and his friend, and his friend was friends with the Korean guy that I was playing against. So it was like Beal was no help. I was like, what the? I got Beal and Tan Man. Thanks. Where's my TC Steve? Tan Man at least was like,
damn,
you got
that's
the
so
shit,
true.
Ricky. At least
Yeah.
Tan Man said something.
You
Beal
know-
was just recording videos.
Yeah, dude,
Oh, yeah.
I had JT Chinoy next to me, and JT Chinoy was just like, oh, I lost my match. You know, that was his hype for me. I was like, thanks, JT.
Pretty accurate impression, I'd say.
Yeah, right. I think I was pretty spot on with that.
Yeah,
So
I
you-
showed up like hella late for your match though.
Oh
Like-
my God! I don't even want to talk about that. Let's not. Even, maybe we'll tell that story in a little bit, but let's not talk about that right this second. You know, I want to talk about some of the things that I did not like. You know, about EVO Japan. We already mentioned, you know, it's really crap, etc. But I think the biggest issue for me was that they had different monitors for the same game.
Yeah.
That drove me bananas because
Yeah.
you know, we were playing in the arcades leading up to the event. Obviously, if you go to EVO Japan, arcades is such a good practice spot, right? So I got my timing down for everything. I was like doing fine. And then I go to EVO Japan, and they had 3 different monitors for the pool matches, right? Okay, so there's 3 different matches, or 3 different monitors. And I was doing okay on those monitors for my pools, right? I lost my very first match to a Japanese Eddie player. Still made it out of my pool. But then we go over to the semis in the other hall, and it's a different monitor completely. It's an Alienware monitor. And let me tell you, on that monitor, I could not DSS for the life of me. Not only could I not hit the legend kick, I couldn't even hit the wall combo, right? It was driving me batshit crazy. So, yeah, that was like a huge problem. Because I'm looking back at it, and I'm like, you guys had 4 different monitors. There's probably a little bit more than 4 games here. How about you just group all of one type of monitor for one game? At least then there'll be some consistency, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
That drove me crazy. Did you guys have anything that you guys thought were major criticisms of EVO Japan outside of just the cramped space? Ricky?
I didn't notice the monitor thing at all, but that's just me not really caring about that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, it's tough to run a major like that, especially when it's your first time. So like,
Yeah.
I don't really have too much to say about it because I think that they did as best as they could. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was fun, but at the same time, I was only there for like one day.
Yeah. What about you, Mikey?
I thought the tournament overall produced a lot of hype matches, and which was the goal for the tournament. And like, I think that overall, like, there was really good top 8s for a lot of games, right? Like, there was,
Whoa. Well, I do
Yeah.
have something to say then. Well, it sucked that all the side streams were only on OpenRec and not on Twitch, and I think a lot of people had trouble watching it on OpenRec, as well as no like English commentators and whatnot. So that kind of sucked. You know, I thought that there'd be more streaming availability for the English viewers as well as the Japanese ones, but you know, it seemed like it was tough to handle all those streams to begin with, so adding extra streams on top of that might have been kind of a stretch.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much I can say about this, but basically, like, I had made my plans to go to EVO Japan long before I was asked to do commentary there, right? Like, I was going no matter what. It wasn't until, like, I want to say, like, 2 weeks before the event that they're like, hey, we're going to do commentary there. You know? And I was like, wow. So, you know, it all came together very, very last minute.
Definitely something similar on my side when I heard about the presence or absence of work for production side. So
Yeah, I mean, but you were planning to go anyway as well?
yeah, I mean, I think we all decided at the same time that we were gonna go, right, around the similar time.
Oh yeah, we flew. That was the funniest thing. It was like me, Sejim, and Ringe, and maybe Tanman. No, me, Sejim, and Ringe flew in on the same flight. And then we're in the airport where you have to go through like the customs line or whatever, and it's like this long ass snaking line. And then all of a sudden we just see like no pants next to us. We're like, what the hell? Like he was there before us. And he's like,
Yeah, it turns out my flight was like 10 minutes earlier than yours or something like that, something to that effect.
yeah. And so
Small
no
world.
pants is like, hey man, wanna hop the line? He just says this like in front of everyone, right? And this line is snaking, and he was literally like 20 or 30 minutes ahead of us in line. And I was like, there's no way we're getting a line. We're like super foreigners.
Hey, it's a
right
bunch
now.
of Taiwanese people, right? They can't even tell what I'm saying. If they want to jump the line,
Right.
they're not gonna know, right?
Dude, there's a bunch of Rip Sajams and Ringes in that line too that could totally understand what you were saying just fine.
But while we're on the subject of the difficulty of streams, one thing for accessibility was that I think the US stream, the jump off stream, was a little bit skewed towards SF5 for most of the time.
Yeah.
And I don't know about how much the stream monitors were complaining, but I noticed that as I was covering the streams, that sort of Guilty Gear and Tekken all got sort of bunched into the latter half. Because I think they had to take a backseat to the top 8s that were happening on the second day, which was I want to say KOF and BlazBlue or something like that.
Yeah,
and then they
right.
switched to the jump off, and suddenly it's all these like really really hype matches, and you have no context for the story like of how it happened.
Yeah.
So there's all these hype matches going on. You don't know what's going on, and suddenly like boom. Like JDCR gets eliminated by Take, right? It's like, what?
No, right. And that's a fantastic point because I was actually on the jump off after those top 8s. I think I did like a straight 4-hour block. And that 4-hour block was amazing, right? Like you mentioned, the matches were great. But like you mentioned, there was no context or story. Like we got like just a round and a half of JDCR and Take. And it's like, wait a second. Take beat him twice? We had no idea. It was just like this information was just coming into us. We were passing it on to the viewers. But it was just shocking, right? Because they had to take that break because there was only one English stream outside of Capcom Fighters. So if you have one English stream and Capcom Fighters are doing Street Fighter, I think a lot of people were upset that there were still Street Fighter matches on the jump off because a lot of them were duplicated, right? It wasn't like there were unique matches on the jump off separate from Capcom Fighters, I don't think, at least.
Well, we kind of all knew why. Evo is overall like a Street Fighter Capcom tournament. Right? Except this year.
Foreshadowing. Man, Mikey.
Foreskin shadowing?
Whoa, what? What the? What?
If you got a foreskin shadow, there's different problems there, man.
Oh yeah.
Way to shit all over your great commentary early on.
So then, I wanted to actually touch about one more thing about EVO Japan, which was the top 8 venue. Right, we talked about the first place. That was the 2 halls. It was crowded, but the top 8 venue, they sold all these tickets to foreigners, etc. It was selling out so fast. I thought we were going to an arena. There was standing room only tickets, and then there was like region A and B or whatever, or tier A and B. I was like, all right, well, you're gonna have to pick an S, A, or B or whatever. And I was like, this should be like an arena. I've never seen an arena in Akihabara. No, where could this be? Right? So I show up there on Sunday morning to do my commentary, and I'm like, where is this? And then people tell me it's on the second floor of a building. And I'm like, all right, so you get out of the train station, you take a right, you go up these stairs, you just walk straight, and boom, there it is. I'm like, and I finally turn out there, I'm like, oh yeah, there's a giant building there. I never noticed this. I guess when you walk in on the second floor, that's the entrance, and then inside is just like, an amphitheater or something. Instead, you walk in there, and it's just a room. It's like... just a room. I was blown out of my mind how small the room was actually, because I feel like the first 2 days of EVO, those halls each individually.
But you're
big.
a giant. You're like 6 feet, like 3 or something.
That room was giant. That room actually has like a super high ceiling or something like that, right? It felt like you could have put like 2 floors into it and still be okay.
Right. But the size of it was what? Correct me if I'm wrong, No Pants, because I think you're the only one who went into that room with me. Did you go there on Sunday, Mike?
No.
You didn't go either, right?
Man, after what happened on Saturday?
Okay, yeah, don't talk about that. Ricky's gonna get it, whatever. But No Pants, the room, was it not smaller than each of the individual halls?
Oh yeah, I think it was probably, I want to say like 2/3 of the size of Hall B with the main stage from the first 2 days.
That's exactly what I felt like. And I was like, the finals day that all these tickets were selling out for was in a smaller venue than the first 2 days of the tournament, which is, it kind of makes sense, right? Because it's an open tournament, you expect to have more people, but at the same time, it's like, don't you think all those people that came to enter the tournament would want to see the finals? Or I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe nobody came for the finals. I left pretty early because I was pretty exhausted, to be honest. But it was a little bit of a letdown. Because when
everywhere.
Yeah, Ricky, you remember the old SBO that they had where it was like, I felt like there was like opera seating almost, where it's like 3 levels. Do you remember that? Yeah.
I think those were all in Chiba. Like, it's a little bit farther. I think that's where they have like Tokyo Game Show and
Are you
stuff.
talking about like a Makuhari or something like that? I think that's where they have SBO, but I'm not 100% sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, can you translate that, Ricky?
What?
I don't know what No Offense is talking about. I think is that like a city or a building?
No, there's like a specific venue that they had for SBO that like had seated like a lot more people, right? And then
Okay.
like you're talking about the place with the center stage, and there's like 4 seating areas around it, right?
I don't remember. I really don't. I mean, like, I just remember, like, in my mind, all I see is, like, tiered seating, where it's, like, 3 levels, I feel like. So that's kind of what I was expecting, especially when I heard standing room only A and B groups, right? Because, and let me tell you, the standing room only tickets were super whack. If I had bought a standing room only ticket, I would have been upset. I would have actually been upset. Like, if Ricksta had bought a standing room ticket, he may not have been able to see anything.
He would have gotten trampled or something, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Because, the thing
Wait,
is...
do they give out special discounts for standing room and not being that tall?
Half price.
They'll give you a discount for being like someone else's footstool, Rick.
Yeah, you know what? That should standing room only tickets should be based off of height. So
Yeah.
like I should get a super discount compared to these fucking giants.
Dude, but, like, let me explain the standing room for you, right?
69% off.
Right. I walked into the hall, and I was like, all right, where's the commentary, right? And then I realized how small the room was. And so I decided, like, let me just walk through these people that are back here to get there. And I didn't realize I walked through the standing room section. It was like, imagine if you had 3 rows of people, about 20 people deep, maybe 30 people deep. That was the standing room section, right? And it was in the very back of the hall. And then I felt like there was some stuff in front of it instead of just the chairs too. So there was like obstructions in the way. I don't know.
Man.
It was not because they had the camera that would show the players coming in and stuff, like the big jib. So there was camera stuff around. So the standing room section, man, I would have been so mad if that was a ticket that I had gotten. But hopefully, those are the major things I think EVO Japan's got to work on next year.
I mean, to expand on it, because we were part of the foreign production crew, right? So the Japanese crew was all set up on one side,
Yeah.
and we basically got the super kids table, right? Basically, like I think if you were walking in and you saw like our side of the room, Markman and Riv, who were doing Tekken, were like chained to like this little kindergarten desk, and then like right across from them is like the rest of the production crew trying to handle the entire like English stream.
Yeah.
So that was a blow up in itself, and then.
Was
Do
it
you
though?
remember?
The room was so small. How could you give them more space?
Not even that, but like, do you remember when they had the winners, and you know what they did for the winners? They rolled out that giant Nissin cup, and we had to get out of the way every time they.
Yeah,
That shit was so ridiculous.
The dude in the Nissan Cup noodle, he would be like walking by. He couldn't see nothing, right? So they were always like holding him, and then there were stairs to get on the stage, and he'd be like, one giant step for mankind, looking like he's walking on the moon, trying to get up the stage. It was hilarious. But yeah, that damn cup was so big. Like when we were doing comedy, we had to like get out of his way. Like, all right, he's going by us now.
Not
His
only
way to the
Rip and
stage.
Markman had to get out of the way, but the production crew had to as well because we were like right in their path, right? So
Oh, I didn't realize that.
definitely some second class citizen, feeling, right? But it is what it is.
But we were second-class citizens there. We were the secondary language, man. We were the Spanish commentary table. They were going to break our table before they did anything to the main table.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
All right. So, like I was going to say, though, the last few things I want EVO Japan to work on for hopefully the next time they do this event, because I think we all want it to happen again, right? We want to have more space so that people aren't smothered in there and, the heat's not going to be an issue, especially if it's in winter again. I want to see consistent monitors per game. Like, I don't care what the input latency is, as long as it's consistent across the game. Like, I don't want to be jumping between 3 different monitors when I'm playing one game. And then the third thing would be for me is finals day, where I think that you guys can get a better spot than that. I just feel like it was a real letdown compared to the first 2 days of the event. Do you guys have anything like that to say, or are you guys all cool with that?
Yeah, I didn't get to check out the last day, but like I don't know, Akihabara is kind of one of those places. It's a magical place.
It's a magical place.
Like you, as soon as you get out of the train station, it's like, oh, I know where I am. It's like, I know what place this is.
That's the face you make
Oh.
right when you get out.
Oh. You see that the Sega Club right there with the escalators, with all the stuff on the walls, and it's just like, yeah.
I'm here. I made it. I'm in Japan, right? It is actually kind of like that. He's very right. Very correct. Anything else, Ricky? EVO Japan?
No, I had fun at EVO Japan, but I especially had more fun at Japan.
Yeah,
Japan's so
definitely.
awesome.
Wait, so what did you
Love
guys end up doing for day 3? Did you even like watch the streams, or was there a viewing party? I heard that they were trying to get something together for people that could not get tickets, but
I had a viewing party. It was called my Airbnb bed.
Yeah,
Shit
it was
mad
awesome.
warm.
I figured out how to turn on the heater for the room too.
You
First 2
didn't
days,
figure it
there
out
was no-
until Sunday.
Yeah, bro.
Oh my
That
god.
must have been rough.
It was so cold. It was snowing, Mike. You didn't get the heater
Bro.
until Sunday.
Let me tell you. I did not want to leave the bed to even take a piss or like, oh man, I just had some cheese for dinner and like I really got to go.
Yeah.
Nope, not gonna happen till like
Oh
12
my
o'clock
God,
the next
dude. Yeah, for me, I mean, I heard that Sugamo had a viewing party, and then personally, like, I woke up in the morning on very little sleep. I went, did my commentary, and then I ended up eating dinner or eating lunch twice with people because people were hanging
morning
out.
rice.
Yeah, I ate morning rice twice, and then I was like, all right, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. And I just went and I knocked out. I actually slept through most of Street Fighter because I was just so exhausted from the previous day.
Morning rice.
Morning rice. We can maybe talk about
that's
that
a good
some other
segue.
time. A good segue to what?
To the EVO Worlds lineup.
That's true.
Oh
Thanks to
shit.
Morning Rice, we can now talk about the EVO Vegas 2018 games lineup that was announced on Tuesday. Pretty shocking, but game number 1, the first game announced,
You know it.
Tekken 7 makes it back to EVO. I mean, that's no surprise to anyone, right? But to be the first game announced was kind of cool, I
Woo.
thought.
That was really great way to start it.
Yeah, I feel like usually they would have been like,
Right?
first game, of course, it's been a hit at
Throw it
EVO
in the
forever.
middle,
Street Fighter
usually.
5 AE, right? I feel like that would have been the easy thing for them to do, but no, they went game number 1, Tekken 7. Everyone was hyped. I mean, it was cool. And then I'll just run down the list here, right? So Tekken 7, number 1. Number 2 was Smash 4 for the Wii U. Number 3 was Street Fighter 5 AE. And then number 4, a little bit
Abigail edition.
controversial, Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle, unreleased game, coming out June 5th
Wow.
for PS4, Switch, and Steam.
Wow.
Was the game number 4. And then game 5, Guilty Gear Xrd Rev 2, which they announced is going to have a balance patch coming out soon across everything, I think, arcades and consoles at the same time.
Didn't Arcade already get it first or something?
They got a loc test, but they didn't get the official patch yet.
Gotcha. And then game number 6 was Injustice 2, and game 7, Super Smash Bros. Melee, and game number 8, Dragon Ball Fighters.
Last but not least.
Yeah, last but
Doing
not
it.
least. And when you hear that list, it's pretty clear which one's missing.
Oh my god.
The colors of their logo are flashing on Rick's the screen right now. There's some blue and some red there.
This was all set up, a long con for that.
Dude.
Is that what this was? I didn't even think about it.
Damn,
Is
that was
Wow. I don't even remember what Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite's title screen is, but is it flashing blue and red like that? Is that what Ricky has playing on his TV, bouncing off the wall there? Man, I don't know what's happening with it.
You guys didn't realize I'm like this is like the last like hurrah the game is having before I'm burying it. So I'm just letting it shine for a little bit, shine just a little bit right now, and then it's gonna get buried.
Wait, I'm trying to remember. Was Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite the game that you threw in the trash can on stream?
Yeah.
Wow. You called it.
I mean,
That's
let me hold on. I didn't call it. What I did was throw it in the trash because the game, man, it sucks because I love the Marvel community. I think the Marvel community is very unique and very exciting, but man, they got a raw deal because it's just so many. I think there's so many outside influences outside of just the game itself, and then the game sucks. So it's like then you got to deal with so much shit. So it's like they got a super raw deal. And when's Marvel? Not this year.
Damn.
That's how it goes.
so
man.
crazy. It feels like for that game, it was always just like, why was it? It felt like it was just so rushed from the beginning. It's like I felt like at one point I felt bad for talking bad about Marvel. It was just like, dude, Marvel always had a sentimental value to me. Marvel 1 was just like the first fighting game I ever played in an arcade. So it's just like, damn. And then like every Evo had a Marvel, right? And I felt this way at Evo Japan too, because I was like, dude, there's no Marvel here. Nobody plays it at all, huh? I was like, this feels weird. And then freaking this gets announced on Tuesday. No Marvel MVCI at Evo Worlds, right? And it's just like, that's weird. There's no Marvel at all this year. It's just dust, Hakkai'd, it just got blown up by Dragon Ball. Boom. That shit was too good.
I mean, obviously, it really, really sucks for all the Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite players, right?
It does. It
when
does.
you look back at the history of that game, like that initial trailer is what made everyone shit on it, right? It was their big unveil. I want to say it was at E3, right? Is at E3 Microsoft conference, I think.
It was all bad from the beginning.
No, it was the Sony one.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Not only did they announce it on one of the biggest stages, they announced at one of the biggest conferences. In between, some dope ass trailer with dope ass graphics and some dope ass other trailer with gameplay. Here's Chun-Li's cracked out face.
Yeah,
check out this GS2 graphics.
Actually, I remember the crowd reception being okay. Mostly based on the brand name, but then as things sort of unveiled, people started taking screenshots. People started opening their eyes. It kind of went downhill pretty quickly.
Dude, I remember I was watching it. I think I was watching. It was either I was watching it on live, either on Eris's restream or actually on the actual channel. I forget which one, but man, the chat was ruthless, and I was there with them, like hell yeah.
But then I think they had cameras situated on certain people in the crowd too, and they were going nuts and stuff. So they tried to make it look like it was.
Shit.
Paid actors.
Dude, they paid
people
the
at the
freaking
Grammys
animators.
gotta pretend like they like fucking, this music. They don't know who the fuck, Kendrick Lamar is, but they gotta pretend like, oh yeah, I've heard this song before.
Yeah, if I was in the Grammy audience, I would definitely be doing that shit. Oh, Kendrick Lamar won, baby, let's go. But I agree.
That's crazy. It's crazy.
When that game was revealed, I had the same thought. Like, yo, there's a new Marvel game. All these guys are gonna be so hyped. I felt so good for everyone else. Obviously, it's not a game that I excel at, but I was hyped just that there was a new Marvel game, right?
Yeah, of course.
And I'm a guy who likes story modes in fighting games. So when that trailer started, I was like, oh shit, they can do a story trailer. And as it's going, I'm like, oh god, this is not looking good because you can't.
This day and age, it's the proof has been in the pudding. Like, it has to be the complete package. You're paying a full price, and then you just want a complete feeling game. I don't want a freaking 1 terabyte download on first day after I just fucking paid like $6. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and then, it's like there's so many things you can point at and blame, right? Like you can blame Capcom for making a shitty product, but at the same time, you probably know that they got their hands tied because they got to deal with two bigger fishes in Marvel and Disney. So they're getting fucked up, and then it's like there's no support coming from anywhere except for the community. Like only the community can make that game good because there's no support from the tournament organizers outside of. Man,
they had that Battle of the Stones thing that culminated in like absolutely nothing. That was I felt like that was the nail in the coffin.
I think it might have been.
Yeah. Right. It's like the game. Marvel has never had trouble with surviving these kind of things. They made Marvel 2 live for 10 years, right? 10 more years and shit. Like that game, I think Infinite, as long as the community backs it, will survive. And I think honestly, just from
Till next Evo though.
Is that what you're saying, Ricky?
But no, not even next to Evo. This is just based off history. There was 2014. Remember, Tekken Tag 2 was not an official game.
Right.
It got added in later because there was there was support from at least the developers, right? You had Harada, Markman, and etc. And the Namcops help push it in there because obviously they had something to push out, but. Will Capcom be willing to do the same, right? Like, or are they already burying that game? Because then you kind of see which direction they're going, and if they tend to, I think if they go in that direction of not supporting it, then it's like that's bad for everyone. not just Marvel players,
just the players missing. You're not going to see those players anymore, right? All that rich history from all of 3, even from 2 that carried over. Like, you're not going to see any of that anymore, and it's just like they took out and they went backwards on everything. They took out characters, fan favorites. We can't put them back. Exactly. No, none of that, right? So it's just like dude, it's just like why are you like stripping the game of like all the good stuff, and it's just like, oh, you made the graphics look terrible. It was a step backwards in graphics, and it was just like you take out characters, and then it's just like,
Look,
I don't know.
Obviously, the game's in trouble. The game is in huge trouble. It's not at EVO. That's huge trouble. But it is still at like every other event, and it still has had good numbers at every other event, right? In terms of entrance and I think viewer numbers as well. So it still has a chance, I think, like Ricky mentioned, where maybe somehow behind the scenes it gets added last second. It gets added back.
Even if here's the thing, even if it doesn't get added, it's not as if like it can never get added, right? Guilty Gear for 1 year was not at EVO because of how poorly it did 1 year, I guess, when they had a team tournament or something. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't there, but then they had a side tournament at EVO and proved that, showed the guys like, hey, look, we can still run a tournament, we can still make it big, and then obviously it got added back in. So I don't think it's dead. I just think that it's a bad look, not from the Marvel community. It's a bad look from two sides. Only one, it's a terrible look for Capcom. Capcom is looking worse and worse by the second. And the other thing I didn't like was how Wizard said that the game has no one playing it. If he's basing that off of the Steam, live results, then yes, no one's playing it. Mm-hmm. But at tournaments, at least, at majors, it's not the worst game, right? It's like right in the middle. It's average. Right. It's like, so it's still going to bring in numbers. I think it will probably, had it been at EVO, it probably would have brought in more than what the cross game would have. We don't, this is pure speculation.
I think,
we don't know.
Look, I think you're onto something there in terms of like with the cross game thing, but I think for sure, Marvel Infinite would have gotten more entrants than Injustice 2.
Ooh, that's tough.
You can't deny that there's some kind of corporate involvement, right? And I think that kind of brings the spotlight on tag battle, if anything, right? So
yeah, that's kind of unfair too. It's because like now everyone's pointing out tag battle being as like the one outlier, as like, well, we would have done better than that game, and it's like, well, then look better.
Damn.
But see, it's part of their plan, right? Because I think Arc System Works had the idea to do that in the first place. Like otherwise, why was Central Fiction even a Sunday game for last year, right? Because they wanted to unveil the trailer, so they probably had budget appropriated for getting tag into EVO in the first place. I mean, I guess I'm insinuating that there is some like cash involvement.
Oh,
but.
Behind the scenes,
I don't know. I'm just
in my grassroots era fighting game tournament. Shocking.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess that also brings up, based on what Ricky was saying in terms of historical data, when he said that Guilty Gear wasn't there, does that apply to Marvel in this sort of modern regime of EVO, where there is corporate involvement in the games that make it to the lineup?
I feel like Arxis has been in bed with EVO, and I think I might be okay with that.
I mean, shit.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, like, come on, man. Like, anime players have been getting the tentacle for quite some time. It's like, it's about time now that they can reverse tentacles and whatever.
Yeah, reverse tentacle.
The tentacling instead.
Yeah,
all those fucking Yoshimitsu players.
Yeah, no one has more tentacles than anime players, bro. This is gonna get ugly. It's gonna get ugly. That brings up a good point. Sunday games were also announced early. Usually they don't tell us this until later, right? But this time they told us.
No,
right
last
away.
year they told us. Last year they announced it on the same day.
Oh, okay.
The way they announced it too, I felt like, even though he said it wasn't in order, I feel like
sounded like that's the order. Right.
That
okay.
is the
so here,
order.
This
dude.
is the order that they said was not the order. Okay.
Yeah, it's totally the order. It has to.
It's Guilty Gear Xrd Rev 2, Smash Melee, Tekken 7, Dragon Ball Fighters, and Street Fighter 5 AE. That's not in order. They've said multiple times. I can actually see that not being in order. I can see Tekken 7 going before Smash Melee. I think historically Smash has always come after Tekken.
I'm going to be a shit poster. I'm going to say that there is a small chance that DBZ could be the last game.
Ooh,
I don't doubt. I don't think it'll be the last game.
Let's talk about that, please.
But I definitely think Dragon Ball has the makings of a co-main event.
Dude, the Dragon Ball right now, it feels like it's the freaking Lord of the Rings of fucking fighting games, right? Because it's the one game to unite them all. All the communities are trying to play this shit. Everybody that has any nostalgic factor for Dragon Ball is super hyped for this game, and it's honestly like, I feel like Marvel players, anybody that understands how like assist games work, this is great. It's like Dragon Ball, and like the thing that we were just talking about with Marvel too. Fucking Marvel's taking out characters. Fucking Dragon Ball's bringing in all the characters.
It can't stop putting characters in.
And everything was like perfect from like the launch, from like first impressions to like presentation to
Hey, calm down over there. I can tell you right now, me and Ricky couldn't play for like 5 minutes, and we had to restart the game multiple times just to play a player match with each other. It has not been perfect, all right?
Okay, first couple day hiccups, but still, now it's like smoothing out.
I'm pretty sure those hiccups are still going.
I'm pretty sure it's
there
still
wasn't
going.
a 1 gigabyte like download on day one or nothing, like at least there wasn't that. So.
The messed up part is because I talked to Sumi now. It's like I bite my tongue. It's like if there's any problems, like I don't want to give her problems. Just let her. she's getting bombarded with all this other bullshit she doesn't need to hear about. So it's like I'm not gonna say anything.
I mean, look, it's when things are more successful, you have more problems when things go wrong with it, right? So it's good problems to have for Sumi is how I look at that. But there's still problems that need to be resolved with the game. Obviously, it's super well received, though. I think that's the most important part, right? It's not like Street Fighter V when it launched. It's like, hey, can't connect to this server. What the F, right? But with Dragon Ball, it's like, I can't connect to this server, but damn, this shit's pretty. Like, people don't care. So, it's fine,
people are blinded.
Yeah, there's
all the fan
good
service.
things.
Like, the fan service is just, like, for me, this is just like, the hype is still here. It's just like, it's too good, man.
Yeah, and
they did all the fan service stuff, like, everything.
Yeah, we were in Japan when it launched. So we came back and we were like super late, I feel like, right? Everyone else has been playing the game for a week and a half, and we're like, oh shit, we're behind. But then it's still super fun to get into, right?
But you kind of felt the hype in Japan too, because when I was on the train, like I think it was a delayed launch in Japan, if I remember correctly, right? It actually launched on February 1st.
2nd, I think.
Okay, something like that. And I remember like I was on the train during that time. And like, there's a bunch of like high school kids at the time, and they were like talking about Dragon Ball Z. It's like, oh, like who are you gonna put on your team? Like this guy looks cool too, right? Like it's like literally you can just like kind of feel it in the air. Like I don't know, it's just infectious, really.
And all the new
other
people. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna go back to the notion that it might be the last game at EVO. Like if you think about it from a numbers perspective, like. How much of a bump in attendance do you expect for AE over like the bump that Dragon Ball would have for being a new game? Like the first year that SF5 came out, we got what, like 5K entrants?
5K.
Yeah. And then crazy. So you had SF5, and then the next year after that, you got the attrition, which was like 2,500, 3,000 or something like that, right?
Yeah,
so what do you expect for this year versus DBZ?
Dude, like the community fusion for that game, and also
the overlap. The overlap is going to be huge, right?
The overlap's already like I feel like pretty good for this game, like compared to any other game. And then it's just like also just the brand new people, the new blood that it's going to bring to this game is going to be way more than I think any other game, just because of the franchise title. Yeah. It's just ridiculous.
To be honest, during that EVO lineup reveal show, when Wizard was talking about Dragon Ball's numbers, he looked a little scared. Like he was all like, we're keeping our eyes on the Dragon Ball entrance. We're trying to make sure that we're gonna have enough, staff running the event. Where I'm like, damn, this fool is hella taking it serious. They're scared. And for EVO to be like just thinking from that kind of perspective, it just shows that they're really expecting a huge turnout for Dragon Ball this year.
I mean, think about the impact of overlap itself. Like if you have top players like what's a good example?
Sonic Fox.
Like Chris G. Or Sonic Fox. But Chris G, like he was in top 8 for like 3 games at a certain time, and he would hold up those top 8s. So imagine if it's like 8 top 8 players that are all in other games, right? And you had trouble like collecting them all. Like what's gonna happen, right? That's why I'm pretty sure that's why they're scared.
That's why they gotta do it the last game.
Well, that doesn't matter.
That part doesn't matter, yeah.
Well, that's the reason why they got rid of Marvel then. So it's like, all right, that's one less game we got to worry about.
Yeah, where all these Chris G's and Sonic
There's going to be a bunch of Marvel players in top 8, and they're going to, like, show us.
Yeah, speaking about Marvel, I totally forgot. You know who this sucks, like, the most for? Guys like Richard Wynn. Like, this fool was picked up and sponsored because he won, like, one of the first Marvel tournaments, right? Or he did super well? I don't remember. But then, he went to, like, Europe, won another stone and shit, and now he has no game to play at EVO.
Well, he'll always forever have that stone.
Yeah.
Wait, no, he doesn't, because he lost it when she lost in the tournament.
Well, did they actually receive like physical stones for that tournament?
No, well, the whole idea was that the winner at the end was the guy that held the gauntlet with all the fucking stones.
I think
So-
That's the gauntlet that Cloud 805 tried to get signed or something, right?
Yeah.
Well, it has
Okay.
a bunch of Easter eggs on it, so it's cool.
Man, hey, what about this? If Marvel comes out or Capcom comes out and says like, by the way, new update for Marvel, X-Men's added in. Do you think?
Ooh.
Mike was shaking his head like, nah. Ooh, X-Men. Yeah, you know, I mean, like,
Damn right.
do you think that maybe could swing it and be like, all right, the community's back, everyone's hype about Marvel again? I'm not even asking if it's going to make it back to EVO. I'm just asking, do you think the community can get behind it again if something like that happens?
That might. Yes, that might.
But what
Community.
about the graphical impact?
Oh,
right?
do that too.
You want to
You gotta
see
do both.
the Wolverine done in like MVCI style?
I mean, but all the Marvel characters have looked good, right? It's just the Capcom ones that have been ugly, right?
No, they're all ugly.
They're all pretty ugly.
Dude, like the Marvel characters have like a full suit on. You can't even see their face. How can you mess that up? You know?
No. But the one thing I'll give them credit for is that the DLC characters, at least the ones that I've seen, so Venom and Monster Hunter, at least they look kind of interesting. Like they look nice compared
super
to
nice.
fucking Ryu in his dirty ass little bathrobe and fucking Frank West level 3 super where he throws the Hulk on his back and the Hulk all of
my
a sudden
God,
can't
the
use his
Ghost
limbs.
Rider. Ghost Rider one.
Well, personally, I hope that that does happen. I hope the storyline goes like, X-Men get added to Marvel, community support gathers, and Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite at EVO next year. Like it just returns without even a
Actually,
title
on that
update.
note, they did allude to a charity drive or something, right? So does Marvel still have a sliver of hope
They
due
said
to
they
that?
were going to do a humble bundle. They didn't to donate to charity. It didn't sound like there was going to be an extra game added through a charity
Okay.
drive. That is something that they mentioned was going to happen later this month, and I think registration for EVO opens next week as well.
Yeah, that's
so
and
congrats.
that's the key part right there for Dragon Ball numbers. I think the early had they released the registration like right now, I guarantee you the numbers for Dragon Ball would be like crazy high. And I think that next week is because I honestly think that when they opened registration for last year and Tekken was on it, right?
Yeah.
I felt like Tekken got a huge bit. We got big numbers for a game that wasn't even like released yet. And I think that it was because it was early and people haven't already quit the game yet.
Right.
So it's like the earlier you get it into a game's life, the more entrants you're bound to get just because people are like, oh, I'm playing Dragon Ball right now. Yeah. In 6 months, who knows if they're still playing it, but they're gonna sign up for it as soon as they can.
Yeah, this brings
That's
up a really interesting point too, because when we talked about Marvel and its release date, we also were talking about Soul Calibur and when we think Soul Calibur is going to come out. And we were always saying like, if Soul Calibur comes out like in a fall, right? Does that hurt its chance of making it into EVO? And we were relating it back to how Marvel came out late, and we're like, yeah, well, it's still going to be at EVO. That was kind of the argument at the time. But now it's like, wait a second, Marvel didn't make it to EVO, and we're looking at Soul Calibur coming out in 2018. But it's not coming out in summer, right? Otherwise, it probably would have been at EVO, like Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle. So you got to assume Soul Calibur is coming out in the fall at this point, right?
Sure.
Okay, and if that happens, if it could get marveled.
No. Have you seen that game and have you seen Marvel?
Yeah, I mean, based on the coat of paint or the the looks alone, like
Yeah.
can't really compare the two.
Yeah, I mean, unless something happens where fucking Ivy's titties, one's way bigger than the other, and like fucking.
That was a good
Siegfried-
thing. Remember Chun's dirigibles? That
Oh
shit,
my god.
Like,
Shooting
No,
down
but I'm saying they got to be like massively deformed, and like something happens with like Talum. I don't know, man. This is you gotta make them ugly as hell, and the game looks nice, so you
It's
can't.
gonna look nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
and
pretty
Soul
unlikely.
Soul Calibur has a pretty dedicated community. It's not as big, obviously, as like some of the other ones, but I think that they're like within the past Soul Calibur's always gotten 1 year at least, and so hopefully that they'll get their year next year, and hopefully Tekken's still there when
And
that happens.
that's the thing that bothers me about it, though, right? You said Soul Calibur's always got its 1 year. I mean, Marvel's always got its 1 year, but if Marvel doesn't get it, who's to say like the
Hasn't
Soul Calibur
Marvel-
can get it?
Hasn't Marvel always been at EVO? Is
yeah,
that true?
Marvel's gotten
Right?
a year by
100%?
default. Like it's got its time by default, so it's like a little bit different in that sense, right?
Crazy.
Yeah, Marvel's been around forever, but Infinite is
That's
really
why
not
they didn't.
forever.
That's why they didn't put the 4 behind it, bro. They weren't confident in putting that 4 behind it. That's where like subtitle, you know.
Honestly, when they put the Infinite in the title, I was like, why didn't they call it 4? And I really thought it's because they wanted to do the Street Fighter model where they were going to have continuous DLC to it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, they can have Infinite DLC. Who knows?
Yeah, they're just gonna have to rebrand it like Street Fighter V Abigail Edition. It's gonna have to be Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom. 4.
Oh god.
They're just gonna title it Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 4.
They should. What
Infinite.
Capcom should do is actually just make a good game, so they can
Damn,
probably just
Damn,
like.
Ricky.
What they need to do is get rid of the Marvel license and then just make another Tatsunoko versus Capcom, where Tatsunoko, no one knows what the fuck that is, and then you can just make all those characters functions again, right?
Damn. That's a decent strategy that will probably not make them any money. Because meanwhile, Capcom is
Hell
making
no,
money.
it won't.
Yeah. Meanwhile, making money with Monster Hunter, right? Because Monster Hunter, highest grossing Capcom game in 16 years, according to MYK earlier.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Absolutely crazy. You know, and are we done with the Evo talk? Is there anything else you guys want to talk about Evo Vegas? Registrations next week. We got the lineup. We got Sunday games. Marvel's not there. Surprise, surprise. Dragon Ball may be the final game. Thank God for Tekken to be on Sunday.
Wait, so is BB Tag on Sunday? I didn't
No,
catch that.
it's not.
Okay, it's not on. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
Rev
fuck
2.
you up in that game too, no pants.
Yeah, that's fucked up. Also, I think I wanted to add that a new game being at Evo is not like a new thing, right?
No.
Like Tekken 7 is actually like that too. And then I wanted to say like even Injustice 2 is like that, right?
Yes.
What do you mean as a new game, as a game that wasn't released yet?
It wasn't
but
released,
announced
and
for
then
Evo.
they put it in the lineup.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like 2 months ahead. Yeah, I think they have like a cutoff time, right? Like at least as long as it's like comes out 2 months before Evo.
They've been real flexible on that lately.
Oh, okay.
What
Yeah,
about
really
was
pushing.
Pokken out before then?
Shit, I don't remember.
Damn.
Pokken did. I don't know if Pokken came out before they announced it, but Pokken was at final round. Final
that
round
is
was the first tournament.
Crazy. Pikachu was in like 7 games, and fucking, now you got all these Pokemon that are taking over Evo. Can't even have fucking Marvel characters anymore.
Just Pikachu's and Pokemons. Damn. I didn't think about it that way.
We've entered a dark era.
But the other interesting thing on that Evo reveal show was that Wizard said, somebody asked him the question, do you think Melee is like gonna last forever? And he's all like, no, it's got a deadline, basically. So I feel like he's kind of on the train to pushing Melee off.
That's crazy.
I mean, how long can you try to scrap these junkyards for fucking CRTs and GameCubes and shit?
Right?
They could. I mean, I don't know where these motherfuckers are buying their GameCube controllers, because them shits must be moldy as hell. So
Dude, do
it's
they like open them up and have like people who like make your controller new again and shit? Is that like a job for people in that industry?
It's Toy Story 2 and shit.
Oh no, they
cleaning the
start
boots.
as a someone who is maybe a former Smasher, not really, but
Oh man, I went to Japan with you, dude. Don't.
God.
Bro.
they still make those controllers, so that's the thing.
That
I'm gonna
explains the smell in our Airbnb.
That's fucked up. But I was gonna say, from Evo's standpoint, right? It's probably a logistics nightmare to run Melee because of the CRTs and everything like that. So Wizards probably just looking for an excuse to kick it off, right? I feel like it's probably easier to streamline everything else.
Yeah, but it's so the numbers that they bring in are basically, for the past 3-4 Evos have been
Yeah,
second highest. So it's like, it's hard to lose out on all those registrations.
Yeah, it's real hard, I think. But I feel like it's so unique even compared to Smash 4.
I feel like Smash players, like the Melee players, like I feel like there's like 3 guys in the world that like they'll just drive down every street just looking for a spare CRT that someone threw out on the street and just pick it up and put it in the back of their truck. All right, we got
Straight
another
up
tournament.
Smash it.
Another one, boys.
We got one! 10 more years!
The color's a little bit off. The speakers don't work.
But I'll be
Don't
all
put any magnets near it, but you know that shit is nice.
Damn, dude. All right, so that's EVO Japan recap, EVO 2018, EVO Worlds lineup recap. You know what's actually really crazy to me? We were in EVO Japan. It was freezing cold, and all I could think about was like, man, they're probably gonna try and do this again. And then you go to EVO Vegas, and it's in summer, and you're in Vegas, and it's hot as fuck. I'm
burning
like,
hot. Yeah.
They gotta flip them, right?
They're only doing the extremes, man. I don't know.
I mean, flipping it, making EVO Worlds in Vegas during the winter would be fine, but Japan in the summer is way worse.
Yeah,
way
you're right.
Because it's more humid.
Yeah, so imagine all that heat going into a room already,
But then they'll crank the AC instead of the heater in the room.
and that's not gonna help.
I don't know, man.
That's not gonna help. No,
I think
trust
that might be better.
Smell is already.
Yeah, people are bringing in funk from the outside.
I also don't think that they can run the
yeah,
same venues without a, massive, like maybe a limitation on the entrance or something like that. I think they have to change the venue at this point. It was
Dude,
too
yeah,
crowded.
Japan not have a room capacity thing? Like, I feel like there's no room capacity. Like,
We were
like
breaking all
fire
sorts of
safety.
fire codes, right?
Or, yeah, right. Like,
Damn. All right. Next thing on the list. Strongstyle is coming up this weekend. I'm flying out tomorrow. Ricky, you flying out tomorrow?
Yeah, what time is your? Well, we can tell about it later because
I'm flying out
I might...
of LAX around. Let's say.
Oh, what the hell?
Where did you fly out of?
Long
flight
Beach.
code, reference number,
Why
passport.
the hell
number.
would you go to LAX and I go to Long Beach?
Yeah,
I'm going
well,
to Long Beach.
give me
I'm
your
staying
flight.
at Long Beach, Ricky.
Mike's going at like 6 in the morning or something.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck that noise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I was gonna go to Long Beach, but then Aries told me he was going to LAX. I was like, fuck it, I'll go to LAX too.
Man, the hell?
Are you guys on the same flight?
Maybe, I don't know.
You got
We're
to
very
make sure he
close.
gets there in one piece, knowing Ares' reputation nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a challenge. You know, now that he's out of his house, he's got to find his way around. You know, but
No, man,
he'll
you
be
gotta
fine.
you gotta be his support, his crutch.
Yeah, you know, I don't know why I booked a flight around his time. Now that I think about it, you know? God, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It's a short trip. He'll have small luggage, right? He'll make it. He'll make it. But yeah, we're all going to Strongstyle this weekend. The Europeans were here for Wednesday night fights last night, and the damn venue blacked out. Ricky, that was so crazy. You missed it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's my first Wednesday night fights of the year. I don't think I've been there all year long, and then boom, the whole venue goes dark before I even got to play a single match. It was
Yep.
tight though. It was pretty crazy because apparently there was some kind of accident on the street, like a couple streets over, where the
First
giant
street,
fire
yeah.
started, right? And so right
Burn
after
down
that,
a tree.
yeah, our building and block area all went out of power, and then like within like a minute, you hear like whoosh, car accident right near us because the street lights weren't working either.
This is
So-
outside the WNF venue?
Yeah.
Damn.
So it was a crazy night, and then we ended up going, me, MYK, Sukin, and Run It Black, carpooled over.
To Europe.
Yeah, to Europe, aka Venice, California, where the European guys were staying, and we played some Tekken there all night long. It was a lot of fun. If you guys didn't see it, I did stream like a little 5-on-5 match that we had. SoCal came out on top. I think Run It Black didn't even play. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Run It Black didn't even have to play. Europe lost 2 sets without Run It Black even playing the game. Damn. Feels good, SoCal. Feels good. But, Strongstyle coming up. What else we got to say about Strongstyle? They've got the Echo Fox boys there. JDCR and Saint. Kokoma's going to be there as well. Who are the Japanese players, Rick?
BKC and Jackler, I want to say, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is correct. That is correct.
Jackler.
And I guess we're all split up in our pools. There's going to be some side tournaments there. They're going to have, I think, Tekken Ball and Tekken Tag 1, maybe?
Tekken Tag 1.
I heard like
No.
they wanted to do like a pair play, random teams, Tekken Tag 1 tournament or something.
For sure, there's Tekken Ball and Tekken 5 DR.
Oh, you're right. That's what it
There's
is.
a DR tournament? Wow.
A DR tournament as well as a team tournament.
And a team tournament. And
Are they going to stream that?
They're gonna stream as whatever they can, but I don't think it's
Okay.
like a priority to stream any of that bullshit.
Are you
Yeah,
going to try to
makes
IRL
sense.
stream anything there, Ricky?
Yeah, I'm sure I will, but as long as I'm not working.
Oh, that's true. Ricky's going to be commentating the event, right?
Yep. You, me,
Me?
Eris.
I'll be covering the entire, probably all of it too. So
There you go. No pants there as well. Yeah. So the DR tournament I heard has a 64-man cap, single elimination.
Bronson, put me on the bracket now.
Yeah. And then,
I mean, knowing the last Strong Style, he almost DQ'd your ass.
Oh my god!
Let's not talk about this. Come on, man.
I totally forgot.
Why do you guys always have to bring that up?
That last garage pound.
funny.
Oh my god! Mike was like,
he was like inside in the venue, like counting down, like 10, 9.
my
We look outside, you see MYK running down, running.
and he's all hot and sweating and dying and panting and shit.
Dude, I was like carrying my stick. It was like following behind me because I was like
The
running.
cable was dragging.
Yeah. That shit was crazy.
What the hell were you doing, man? Why are you late?
No, I was traveling with Tall John, right? Cyborg, right? And then and strippers and beer, right? I was traveling with them two, and then we had a room. We had to wait till checkout, which they wanted to wait till late checkout. But then I had morning pools, but then they were the only ones that drove. And this is, I think, before Lyft and Uber existed, was it? I don't know.
Unlikely.
Yeah. That shit was crazy, dude. So like John drove there like super late, and then I was just like, he dropped me off on like the farthest exit from the campus, and then I was like, and then I think I got your text, and you're like, you have 1 minute to get here, and I was just like, fucking flip my hat back around and fucking run through the campus and shit. It was out of control.
Why do you have to flip your hat around to run faster?
I don't know, man.
It's like Ash, catch him, dude. Like
I
you can't
guess
start,
so.
really
I'll
getting
fight.
amp.
Yeah,
Jeez
yeah, I
Louise.
know. It was
Man.
out of control.
Yeah, so if you guys want to watch Strong Style, they are streaming it for the first time ever. Did they stream the last
No.
one?
They didn't
No,
actually-
because
but they
said were
streamed the
gonna
one the 2 Strong Styles ago on the I Play Winner.
Okay, well, this one is streamed on Team Spooky. So if you guys
Yes.
want to watch Strong Style this weekend, make sure you guys head on over to Team Spooky and follow that channel. I assume it's going to start on Saturday because it's only a 2-day event. So it'll be Saturday and Sunday, team tournament, DR, Tekken Ball, and the main event, Tekken 7 on Sunday.
Yeah, I want
But
to say
it starts
pools on
Saturday.
Saturday start on the order of like 10 a.m. or something like that.
Wow.
So
Okay, so there'll be stuff happening all day long this weekend.
yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
Anything else to say about Strong Style?
They're streaming right now. Kakoma, John Ding. John Ding?
John
John
Ding!
the dude.
Ding.
John Ding! Yeah.
We're gonna get last podcast, guys.
John Ding is awesome. What are you talking about? We're just huge fans, man.
Wasn't that
John
the first
Ding.
thing you said when you saw him?
It was,
John
actually.
Ding.
I saw him. God, that was so stupid. Do we want to tell this whole story, Ricky?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, so we go to Osaka. Me, Rixta, and No Pants. All right?
Actually, you know what I realized? You're the one that started it, but you didn't start it with John Ding. And you
No,
made
I
it.
didn't.
You made it hilarious though, because let's say this. No Pants was watching it earlier today, and I was watching his restream, and I remember you saying it in Don Quixote, and I was like, and I laughed my ass off when you said
Really?
it, because you were just like you're stumbling and mumbling, and you just go Malgu, and I just Malgu walked by, and I'm like, I laughed my ass off. That was so
Oh,
funny.
my God.
And so that I switched it to John Ding, but
Yeah.
Malgu's really good too.
Yeah.
Malgu was excellent at the time, given the
You know,
circumstances.
you walk around Osaka, and it's supposed to be Japanese people, but you can tell by the haircuts that these guys aren't Japanese. You know, they look like Malgu, or they look like John Ding. It's
The mushrooms look like.
yeah. So it's like Malgu. Oh God! So then we go. I went to the freaking UIU Unity House to film the next day after we got back, I think. And the first thing I saw was John Ding. I was like, John Ding! I'm so hyped. So hyped to see him, man. It's good times. Yeah, I can't wait. That stuff, by the way, UIU Unity House footage. I don't know when that's coming out, but if you guys saw some of the live stream, we had like John Ding, NL, Tasty Steve, Sayjam, Smug, Marn, Kami. Probably some other people I'm forgetting as well. But, we went to the arcade, we played air hockey and a bunch of other weird stuff. And we played some house games like beer pong. And it's like a really, really funny set of videos that are going to be coming out. I don't know when it's going to be. But
Hey, you
keep
did
your
that
eyes
for
peeled.
Evo as well, right?
Yeah, so we also... Yeah, I don't know what happened to that footage. So for EVO, it was like me, Sayjam, Tasty Steve. Was Markman there too? Z?
Spooky.
And Spooky, yeah. We went around
Spooky was
Japan.
live streaming it, right?
Yeah, Spooky was
Yeah.
live streaming it. We were walking around Japan, like, showing kind of the hot spots and doing some of the touristy things to do, like the Critter Cafe, etc. Or walk to Harajuku and getting, like, the giant cotton candy thing. But, we did all that, and they told us that they were going to air it during EVO Japan. I don't know if that was ever aired. Or if
They
that-
actually did air it during Evo Japan. I remember
No
seeing it on
kidding.
stream. Yeah.
Wow, I haven't seen that footage yet. I want to see it. Damn, somebody link me that. I want to see it.
Yeah, where are the clips at?
Yeah, I didn't see any of that. There's clips of me doing other stuff in Japan, but none of that. You know?
Not my
There's a lot
job.
of clips.
They actually told me not to clip it for the record.
Oh wow, okay, very cool, very cool.
So not to clip that you'll listen to, but you're willing to restream a deleted VOD.
Why would you do that, Andrew?
Don't worry about it, guys. Hey, we all saw the footage after we sobered up, and we
Delete the
decided
VOD. Delete the VOD, bro.
VOD's deleted.
Huh?
The VOD's deleted. What do you want me to
Hold
do?
on.
No,
The
but
new
your
VOD.
VOD. You gotta
It's not my
delete your
VOD, though,
VOD.
right? Someone else uploaded it, and
Oh shit.
No, I'm saying delete your restream VOD.
yeah, that's fine. I'll delete that VOD.
What an asshole! God, Jesus Christ. Oh
But
man.
don't delete the one of you getting new subs on the train. That one was good.
Wait, what happened?
You just showed that clip. That's pretty funny.
What
I don't have
happened?
the link anymore.
Wait, tell me what happened.
You were there. Remember when Andy was sleeping on the train and he would get a sub or something, and then you and I would make hand gestures towards his face while he was sleeping.
I don't recall this at all.
Man, you were that drunk on the train ride?
I really don't remember this. There was new subs coming in?
Yeah, you subbed and I subbed.
Right, you were pretending to
That train.
hog
That train.
my-
Oh,
my
I
facade.
got confused with all the trains. I know which train you're talking about now. Yeah. Yeah, that was a good clip.
It's this clip. I'm watching. I'm gonna
Yeah.
watch it. Yeah.
All right. So we did the EVO Japan thing, we did the EVO Vegas thing, we did the Strongstyle thing. You know, other little random fighting game news that's happening right now. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are coming out to Injustice 2. They showed some gameplay. It's coming out this month, by the way. A lot of people are wondering how the Turtles are going to switch between one another, whatever. And it turns out there are actually 4 characters. So 4 tournaments, you can choose which turtle you want to use. So as far as DLC goes, they count as 4 separate characters.
How different are they?
They're pretty different. They have very
good.
different playstyles. Yeah. So
But do you
they're-
buy one and you get all 4, or do you have to buy all 4 separately?
Oh, that's a great question. I think you just buy one. I think you
Oh.
just
Yeah,
buy
I think they're
Because
part
they
of the
would take
pack
up
with
one-
2 other characters, right?
right, but if you
Or
buy the
one
character
combo.
individually, you know.
Oh, I didn't know you can even do that. Okay.
No, but
Yeah,
I think you can switch in and out between the turtles in game too. So it's not that big of a deal, right?
It's not in game. It's like some of the turtles have like other turtles will come out as their assists. So, for example, when Leonardo wants to throw a projectile, he ducks down, and then Raphael from out of screen just kind of you see his arms coming and throw the size. So that's like Leonardo's projectile. You know, he says like Raph, and then Raph throws the size at them or something. Or during the throws, a lot of their throws have it where one turtle will come in and tag team the other guy, basically, like Armika Nadeshko status. So it's pretty cool. It looks really cool, actually. The turtles
Yeah, the
are
Ninja
really
Turtles
well
made a
done.
better Marvel game than Marvel did. That's crazy.
Too soon, Ricky. Come on, man. You still got the
I will
sirens
say that
going and
I'm
everything.
not the biggest fan of Injustice's animations, but when it comes to non-human characters, specifically like Gorilla Grodd and the turtles in this case, they look pretty good. I was surprised at how well they
look
turned
really
out.
good. Yeah, I thought they looked really good. The trailer was pretty hype, and the gameplay that they showed off yesterday during the Watchtower stream was also very cool to see. So that game is still kicking. It's gonna be at It's gonna be at Evo. Injustice
It's gonna
2
be at
will there.
Injustice?
It's gonna be at
Yeah,
Injustice.
can you imagine if the turtle? It's gonna be like Tanya at CEO all those years
Dude,
ago for MKX.
I was thinking about it like Evo could have a top 8 of all turtles, except it wouldn't even be mirror matches. It would be like Raphael
Mirror.
versus Donatello, Michelangelo versus Leonardo. You know,
And do you
then-
think
20 different Ninja Turtles in top 8, right? Like,
Yeah, but
Good
who would be mad about that?
I don't
Better
know.
than seeing Aquaman and Superman all the damn time
Yeah,
again.
I know everyone would be hype about it. Everyone's like, "Yo, Injustice, bring it back for a 3rd year." It's crazy. That's super crazy. Man,
Turtles are gonna save the game, maybe.
I mean, the game's doing well. It's at Evo, Mike. You know,
Yeah.
put the turtles in
That's-
Marvel. Put the
I mean,
turtles
that's
in
not what I
Marvel.
meant.
They'll have a chance.
That's awesome. That's awesome. The turtles, yeah.
God, that's nuts, dude. I'm really actually blown away that Injustice 2 was in there over Marvel. But enough of that. We talked plenty about that. I think it's about time to wrap up the show. Anything else FGC related that I'm forgetting about? It's happening. I'm pretty sure I got everything.
Everyone watch Strong Style this weekend. Don't
That's
be a
the one.
bitch.
it'll be sick.
Yeah. So how about we tell everyone where you can follow you guys? MYK, let them know.
You can follow me on twitch.tv/ the name is MYK, and it's the same for my Twitter.
Boom, easy. Ricky, let them know.
Twitch, Twitter, Rick Steezy, RickSteezy. I might do some IRL streaming of Strongstyle this weekend. If not, you'll see me on Team Spooky doing some commentary and all that other jazz.
Yeah, check out Rick's Twitch channel. Just don't look at the clip section. No pants. Let him know about what you do and where they can find you.
You know, one of my best clips from the last time I streamed was when I beat you Paul Mirror when I made that sick comeback. That was tight.
Yeah.
So for me, the first place you guys should follow me is probably youtube.com/avoidingthepuddle.
That's his YouTube channel. It's actually
yeah,
your
that's the
YouTube
channel that I run,
right?
and then I also stream on Twitch and the number 0 pants. Because that shit was taken on Twitter, I have to go by NZERO pants.
That's the low.
Poverty.
Gotta pay that dude. Pay that man his money for the Twitter account, man. Give him a Bitcoin. Toss a Bitcoin his way.
You got a nice YouTube channel.
Yeah, just give him one Bitcoin before that shit falls even further.
Yeah, and people are coming up with the secret Japanese lore. It's just pretty good.
Wait, what?
Damn, they're
I'm getting really distracted by your chat.
getting exposed.
Oh God, yeah.
The Japanese American African monument is really good.
Wait, what? Wait, I gotta click on that. Is that me?
Yeah, that's you.
All right, let me listen to this real quick.
David, now I have to turn up your stream.
On the podcast.
Famous Americans that came from Africa, settled down here in America,
tiny.
and then flew over to Japan. Only to visit once every few years. Once for
They hear
SPL, twice for SPL actually.
Yeah, they can hear.
And a couple times for EVO. Japan.
Wow. You know, I gotta say, you guys are a bunch of assholes. Rick said no pants. You know, I thought, and let me clarify this for everyone, right? Oh, I forgot. I moved the chat out of the way. I thought, wow, I broke the complete chat. Whatever. I thought that I had 2 tall cans of Strong Zero and 2 small cans, right? Mm-hmm. And I remember that because it's in one of the clips, right? When I looked at the Forbidden Archive, it's there. I say it out loud. I'm like, I had 2 tall cans and 2 small cans. That's way too much. And then what do you guys do? Right? I'm clearly gone. I've got a napkin in my face. You guys are like, let's go to Family Mart and get this guy another tall can. That's what you guys did to me. I do not even remember that other tall can, dude.
Dude, this is true. No Pants did the same thing to me because I was like already done that night, right? Mm-hmm. And then he's just like, "Oh, don't worry, this next tequila shot." I was like, "No, tequila always messes me up." And he's like, "No, don't worry about it. They Sprite it down. Don't worry, just drink it." I drink it.
Sprite it down. We got like 2 adioses and like.
That shot was all tequila, man. I took that shot and I was just like, this is bad. I'm going to the couch. I'll see you guys.
Don't blame me. It's no pants. It's all no pants.
It is
all
all
no blaming me.
Yeah.
I have to overcompensate because I have the reputation for passing out in anime suites, right?
You
Yeah,
definitely.
but you're also a little bitch when you're like, man, everyone else is a little bitch, and then you don't do anything with it. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
You're a real Twitch monster, you.
Mm-hmm. And you definitely need to overcompensate. Let's move on to the Left Behind segment. Left Behind segment. Who wants to go first? Who wants to go first?
I'll go second.
Oh damn! What?
I said we let the newcomer go first.
Yeah. No pants.
There we
You're the
go.
newcomer here. Left Behind segment. Leave something behind.
Okay. I guess there are a couple obvious ones, right? Can I?
Go
Marvel
for it, whatever
Club,
you want.
that's obvious, but I
Oh,
feel
God.
like I should make it a little bit more personal. I don't want to take the easy way out. I want to say shout outs to Roku no Kokoro because Naho got left behind.
Damn.
Why would you leave her behind? She left
You're
you
such a
behind way before you
dumbass.
left her.
Yo,
No,
can I show that on stream?
Show up.
That shit's infamous now, right? Yeah, that shit's
What's infamous now?
that
No
video.
pants, motherfucker.
Does anyone have the link to that? God, I know it's on my Twitter, but I don't know where to find it.
That's the best.
I think I
Damn.
can find- Oh, you're gonna look it
Oh
up?
my god, we
The
gotta
hell look it up. Yeah.
Dude, this is terrible.
What's terrible? There's 3 people who are gonna go before me. I'll find it.
Oh my God.
No, it's just I'm not saying you won't find it. I'm just saying looking through your like.
I don't retweet other stuff that's weird. Oh
Well,
god, there's
looking
something
through your
weird.
Japan lore for one is not a good place to start. But you know,
All you have to do is click media
Oh,
way at the top.
that sounds dangerous. I don't know about doing all that.
point.
Oh man.
Well, that was a
Oh.
real intimate picture of you and YK. What the hell?
no, don't do that.
hey, chat, listen to this real quick. This is Nao from Horaku no Kokoro.
Horaka.
Baraka?
For the video freezes.
Oh yeah, damn Twitter. How did No Pants leave that behind? Can you believe that shit? No Pants? What are you
No
thinking,
pants,
man?
no show.
It's almost like she just wanted me to come and spend money at her bar. You know, maybe that's a thing.
I don't know, man. I don't think that was the thing, No Pants. I think you dropped the ball. I think you dropped the ball there.
Mm-hmm.
I
You
picked up the
missed-
ball, I put it in your court right before you left the country.
You missed your opportunity for morning rice, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
Can we not make that a term, please?
Morning rice.
Right.
Asa Gohan.
That is crazy. What is morning rice?
Literal translations.
God, should we tell them about morning
You should
rice?
totally
You might as well tell them.
All right.
He's anonymous,
So-
but you should tell them.
Yeah, I'll leave it anonymous, right? So I was talking to a Japanese girl via Facebook Messenger, right? I'm like, hey, I got no
Girl,
plans
huh?
today. It might have been a dude, you right? Whatever. But I'm talking to her about, hey, I got nothing to do today. It's after EVO Japan. Like, you want to do anything? And she says some shit back to me like, yes, now, morning rice. I'm like, what? And so I Google that shit, and like I get images of like chopsticks in a bowl of cereal. I'm like, oh shit, morning rice. That sounds tight, you know?
In a bowl of cereal?
It looked like a bowl of cereal with chopsticks, right? And
Free
so,
cereal with chopsticks.
so I
I'm
was
gonna
like,
do that
oh.
shit right now. What the hell I get when I do
So then I was like, all right, let me get some morning rice with her, whatever, right? And then she's like, oh, damn it, the place doesn't open until 10. It's like 6 a.m. or something, right? So I was like, fuck. Well, do you want to go to the fish market instead? And she's like, maybe not, you know? And I was like, fuck. I was like, well, I haven't had the fish market ever, and I also haven't had morning rice ever, you know? So I don't know which one I want to do. And so then later on, I talked to these clowns, and I'm like, hey, what the fuck is morning rice? And they're like, breakfast. So I basically told this girl, I've never had breakfast before. You know, I'm really interested in trying this shit out. Felt like such a moron. Such a moron. God. Stupid.
Hey, on the relative scale, that is definitely not the worst of the stuff that you have done in Japan.
Fair enough. Fucking morning rice. God damn it. You Asians
shit.
eat some weird things in the morning.
But yeah, that's mine. Naho, you got left behind.
Yeah.
That's not personal at all.
Yeah, she left you behind.
Yeah.
It was a mutual left behind.
No,
okay?
it
I
wasn't.
feel
You
bad.
got bodied.
Fine, I got bodied. I got left behind. How about that? Okay,
See, man,
you left
we learned this about No Pants before. He does, man. You push a little bit and he folds up like like a
Story of my life. It's how I play fighting games too.
Yeah,
You
it's
see
like-
me,
Oh,
and I just curl into a ball and cry.
Yeah, man. Watching you play Tekken is like the saddest thing because it's like, man, you don't know how good you are because you don't do anything. If you do what you're doing, you'd be winning so much.
All
Right
right.
now,
I gotta tell one more story. About Japan. You know, the first couple days there, I was losing. I was getting demoted. I got demoted 4 times in a row. I was getting pissed, right? I'm in the arcade getting pissed. And then I'm like hitting the machine, getting frustrated. And I just like walk around the arcade one time after my 4th demotion. I see No Pants sitting there. He's playing. I see him. He's not ducking any of these damn highs. You know, he's not doing these right combos. He's not punching anything correctly. And he's pissed. He's smashing the machine. He's yelling at the machine. I'm like, this moron doesn't know shit. And he's getting so angry. And then I realized that was me. And I was like, all right. I can fix
I'm a
this.
role model. That's what
I
like
can
to
fix
hear.
this. And then all of a sudden, I got my promotions back and life was better. So thank you, No Pants. Thank you.
Oh man, that's
God damn it.
is
All right,
someone
Mike.
left behind, or are we just like stuck?
Mike,
here with
you
No
second?
Pants?
No,
All
Mike
right.
is second.
Here we
Mike is
go.
second. Yeah, we're ditching
All
No
right.
Pants, right? He folded already.
Yeah.
Yeah, he folds. All right, good stuff. Yeah. So I am left behind ITS.
Oh shit!
What?
Wow, that was like cued perfectly. So yeah,
I like the name too. That thing.
you know,
I got a text message right there. That was
that was
hilarious.
cued perfectly. But yeah, I left ITS because I don't know. I kind of repped him for a while. I felt like and wanted to see if they could help me out with Strongstyle. Nothing really, and then yeah, you know. So yeah, left behind.
What?
So,
All right.
so you're unsponsored MYK now.
That's pretty much.
You know,
Bring back Jamji.
That's nothing though.
Yeah, but that was
Well,
your
I mean,
name.
It's something, but
Yeah.
that's like
It was in
out there.
brackets after your name. Remember?
Oh man, let's not even go there.
You know, I was thinking, you know, Run It Black signed up for Strongstyle's LUIG Run It Black, and I made a deal with him that if he makes top 8, I'll make jerseys. I'll make LUIG jerseys. So you can be a free LUIG sponsor if it was not going to conflict with your potential other sponsorship opportunities.
Wait, does that mean you have to make like a minimum run of jerseys or something?
Probably. I think it does.
And dude, the fact is that you got to make Run It Black a jersey, and that's like 3 jerseys stitched into
Yeah,
one.
Oh my
XXXL.
God, the cost is going to be so large.
That's not the only thing that's gonna be large.
Whoa.
Oh man,
Oh,
he
that
doesn't need to overcompensate. Ricky, you want to leave something behind?
I guess. What was I trying to think of? Man, I've been so happy ever since, you know, Japan. So it's like it's hard for me to like be negative about anything. So I'm gonna leave behind that deleted VOD that No Pants has been streaming, because when he's been rewatching it, I'm watching it and I'm like, man, I'm really mean.
Yeah.
Dude, there's so many things about you guys when you're drunk that I didn't know about.
Tell us.
Like,
Oh my God. Like that last night at Rock No Kokoro, right? With like Rip and No Pants, and then my girlfriend was there, and then the girl, and then the other guy that works there, right? It was them, and it was pretty much just us, right?
Okay.
And then we're all getting wasted, and then at one point of the night, I think No Pants just started becoming a chain smoker out of nowhere. I just like wake
yeah.
random points of the night, and then he's just like smoking. He's smoking. My girlfriend tells me, and she's just like, dude, I think Rip's picking on No Pants, and I think it might be hurting his feelings, because he was just like, shut up, bitch. We're watching the video. She shows me the video after I wake up. She's just like, shut up, bitch. Fuck you, motherfucker. Shut up, motherfucker. Just like for like 5 minutes straight, and I was just like, all right. I can see
Yeah,
that.
in my defense, No Pants won't shut the fuck up sometimes, you know? You gotta tell him.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
I'm just saying. Especially when I'm drunk, you know? He just seems to be talking all the time.
So I will explain the lore on the smoking. The smoking was just an excuse to talk to the bartender. Yeah.
Wait,
So I was like,
wait, did you borrow her smokes the entire time?
yeah, I basically bummed her smokes, right?
Wow.
Damn.
What the hell? That's fucked up.
Well,
You're
what
in
do you
there.
want me to do?
Go buy your own damn cigarettes.
It was like snowing outside that night. I'm not gonna go outside. Fuck that shit.
Real
Oh god.
drama.
I actually learned a lot about myself on this trip too. You know?
These strongs are so strong.
The things I already knew about myself though is that I don't throw up. I'm too tall. I knew that.
No,
I
the
knew
funniest shit about
But
that
now the
was-
stream knows that too, right?
No. But not only that, it was like the next day when we get back and we're like talking to Ringe and Sejam and them, and then Sejam brings up that line, and this is sober Rip explaining why he doesn't throw up, and because his body's actually physically longer, so that the muscles don't work as like.
Oh, my
Right
Hold
then
on.
and there was like, oh man, so he really is. He really thinks
Do you
this.
think that
Are you seriously going to try to defend yourself
do
right
you
now?
think
Do you think, dude?
Somebody get the clip. Somebody get the
the muscles to throw up are stronger naturally in taller people? Do you think I'm born with stronger throat muscles than you, Ricky?
Stronger throat muscles, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know. You want
That's
to
what I'm
test it
saying.
out sometime?
I'm telling you, it doesn't work. It just don't work.
He's a real natural at sword swallowing.
Yeah. So, oh God, Mike. So, my left behind has got to be my soul that I left on the karaoke room floor, you know, in Osaka.
Oh, man.
I'm pretty sure that's what I left behind in Japan. But, you know, there were a lot of good lessons learned. You know?
bodily fluids on that floor too, right? You know.
Whoa.
Minimal bodily fluids. Minimal. And most of it's in the corner, all right?
What is this?
But,
Oh.
you
Let's
know,
be honest though, your soul never left. It was on the floor, but you brought it back.
I did.
Whoa.
For some of those songs.
I think Avril Lavigne brought it back is what happened.
Man,
dude.
that's crazy.
Boy.
I don't
That
remember you
night-
guys singing that song.
That was something else. Ricky, did you do a Left Behind calling?
Yeah, I left behind the VOD, I guess.
You left behind the VOD. I left behind my soul, but I brought it back. So I guess the other thing I left behind, it might be Strong Zero. I think I'm gonna leave Strong Zeros behind. I think I might have to do that.
Like the
You're not gonna do
Japanese
that.
Four Loko.
Whiskey's like water to me, man. But Strongs?
Don't say that again, please. I just
Strongs is
I
something
just-
else.
I ordered you one whiskey drink at the bar. You broke a glass. That's like it happened instantly.
We were
He
hold on.
parried it.
We were
Dragon Ball
like
reflected it.
10. We were like 10 drinks in at that point, right?
Because
Because I took Mike's
more.
tequila
More.
shots.
Okay. So Rip had 2 tequila shots. You had the Adios, and then that second drink,
Adios
the
is-
CVS. So you had 4. So you had 4 at that point, and then we just
At
got the
least.
coffee drink, and then
Yeah.
you started sipping the coffee drink on the
coffee
fifth one.
shochu. Yeah, we had coffee shochu. Oh.
Yeah, and then I DSS forward one the coffee drink off the table.
I gotta
It was
leave
good
that
times.
bar behind. You know, like I think it was second most spending was on Tekken, and then first was definitely the bar. Like spending money on drinks is a fucking blow up in Japan.
Why is
That's
it a
why
blow?
Strong Zeros exist.
Are
babe.
you telling me it wasn't a good time, no pants?
Was it like a fucking $400 good time? I don't know. What can you get for $400 in Japan?
You can get a lot. Trust me. That old man on the street told me what you can get with $400.
All right, boys. We'll see you guys next time.
See you
Catch
at
you all
Strong
later.
Style. Ball.